And then we saw the lost Garzas. They've been lost. You don't see them much anymore. Against Javon Evans and Phoenix, who won that match. And then it was time for the fucking main event.
No thoughts this week on Javon Evans? A lot of people were surprised by your positive reaction to him last time.
When he's working with somebody else like Sami Zayn that knows what the fuck they're doing, then I wasn't going to suffer through. He's not Bron Breakker yet to me. I wasn't going to suffer through the rest of these imbeciles to keep an eye on Javon. I'm sure we'll see him again. But that was the whole fucking show, what we've just said, except for the main event, which it was Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker against Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And obviously that's a main event in any arena in the country. But then the first entrance started at 9:30 and the bell rang for the match at 9:42. They had a minute of action and went to the break. What the They came back and they had 4 minutes of match and they went to another break. And then they came back and it was a long heat on Cody and a cold tag to Randy Orton, who made a cut. I don't know. They don't even care anymore to set up a tag. They just, okay, it's time, King. And I'm loving the Brons, right? They're multi-generational heels. They could have been over in any territory anytime. But they do some back and forth, and Bron Breakker drives Cody through the barricade, and Orton hits the DDT on Bronson Reed and goes for an RKO. And Paul Heyman gets up on the apron, and did you see what he was doing, Brian? He started trying like he was going to climb to the top rope. Yeah. He almost tipped the ring over. Well, I mean, think about it mathematically. If he's standing on one ring post and the other one opposite him is going to fly up in the air and hurt somebody.
What was he going to do?
He was drawing the referee and having fun with himself at the same time. But as the referee goes over to him, because he got to the bottom rope, right? He didn't get up on the top rope. Seth Rollins comes in, stomps Randy Orton and rolls out. Bronson Reed splashes him off the top rope, 1, 2, 3. It was another good win for the Brons, which, as we said, tag team wrestling, you got to have two guys they think are main event guys in a team, and they got to win, and they got to beat people who are main event level stars in the fans' eyes. So that's great. Great finish. And then Seth tells both of the Brons, he's mine. Like, don't beat Cody up, he's mine. And then Seth starts making a face. And Paul's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fall in a trap. And Seth goes back in the ring to stomp Cody and misses the stomp. And Cody hits him with the crossroads. And there was 2 hours of your life on SmackDown.
So we've talked a lot about the issues with the ratings and how it's affecting all of wrestling. SmackDown's not immune. And again, at the same time, it's not exactly the hottest show. It's not a must-see show. No one's clamoring for, oh my God, I have to see anything on SmackDown. It's just, you know, the stars are going to be there and they'll be interacting and chatting and doing their things. But there's nothing big that gets you excited. Do they need that? I mean, is this just a natural wrestling thing? You can't hot shot forever. You can't stay hot forever. We need to have a cool down period, or do they not even see this as that? Because the TV shows, again, you said it, main event anywhere in the country. It could be a main event of any of their pay-per-views, Cody and Orton versus Bron and Bronson, the way they do things. But by the time you get there, it's a whole lot of like sitting in place, it feels like, to get anywhere. It's hard to do.
Well, and also, and I understand why, and rightfully so in most cases, the match, you don't see a lot of those main event matches. By the time they're in break and they start late with half the matches, the introduction or the entrance. But at the same time, they don't want these guys to go out there and work 30 minutes and get fucking hurt when they cost $50 million a piece to replace them. We did that math, remember? When I said, what is the pressure on Cena? With 10 dates left, it's going to gross $50 million for the company. He doesn't want to turn his ankle. Or when you got to pick one of these guys up and put them down anymore. Oh, better be careful with them. So I understand that part of it. But everything takes so fucking long. Even the middle card talent takes so fucking long. They've got a lot of people. And especially on Raw, it was even more profound because they've got 2.5 hours. Where between the entrances and milking for the chants and milking for the singing and the long monologues at each other or dialogues with each other, it takes 15, 20 minutes to impart what in the days of the Attitude Era would be a 4 or 5 minute live interview in the fucking ring with guys applying themselves, because up and down the card, the names, it was moving. That was what it wasn't just limited to the Attitude Era. Territory wrestling, if you had any kind of good territory, the TV kept moving. You didn't have just endless shows per week and 3 hours each. You know, you had to get your point across. You had to get over. You had to keep people's attention. You had to sell shit and blah, blah, blah. It's just the fucking pace is brutal now in the WWE, and it's the antithesis of AEW, which they will not fucking stop. So nothing registers.
One won't start, the other won't stop. I know it's
one won't start and the other won't stop. Finish in WWE. Draw the referee, nut shot, super kick, cover, the end. Finish in AEW. 16 people run in, 4 other fights start, something gets set on fire. We come back from the break with other people in a match. We don't, where did we start?
Yeah, kick out of everything also. Just everything, no matter what, endlessly. Kick out. No matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, kick out.
But it's just where we're at. But the slow stuff is making more money because at least they can understand it. If they're hardy enough, bored enough, interested enough to sit through the whole thing, they understand what they saw.
What do you think? One last thing about all this. What do you think about where Cody is right now? They've done a really good job of getting Bron and Bronson over with Heyman. Randy Orton is a legendary character, and if he turns at some point or whatever happens, there are some fans who think Cody may turn on him. But I don't know about that.
No.
But Randy is where he is. What do you think about Cody, his current usage, and where he is right now, coming off a big PWI 500 #1 placement? He should be the guy going into Crown Jewels, the defending Crown Jewel champion. He's had a weird year. What do you think about where he is right now?
Well, he still is the guy. Punk has louder fans. Roman has some devoted fans, but there weren't as many of them in Dallas as there were Punk fans, apparently, from the noise. Roman's part-time. Punk is, he's more of in the Hacksaw Duggan position in Mid-South now, where he's a guy even without a belt that draws. Cody is still the babyface champion. And the kind of face of the company, and he should be for all the work he puts in. The whole thing with the Rock's booking and etc. and that thing with Cena was a distraction, but the people still like Cody. And I would think with he and Orton, with this being the first week of October, they're right around the point where, and they got to get rid of Cena first. They're not going to do something while a lot of attention is going on Cena's last matches. So I'm thinking by Royal Rumble time, something may happen with Cody and Orton, and Cody ain't going to be the one to turn. And Orton also is closer to the end of his career than the beginning, and he's not a guy that minds a little heel run toward the end. He doesn't, take it so seriously. He's a just a lovely baby face now that he wouldn't want to turn heel, and it would probably help cement Cody coming out on the top of a program with Orton is what I'm trying to say, and a WrestleMania match or whatever the fuck.
Well, we'll see what happens. That was SmackDown. Jim, perhaps Cody Rhodes' biggest problem is he has horrible musical taste. The music he listens to is just garbage. You could tell by the theme song. He's just into inspirational, almost like Christian rock, whatever that is. But what if Cody Rhodes had a way to listen to good sounds? To discover everything from punk rock to jazz. Again, with good sounds, a comfortable fit, a stylish look, all from our friends at Raycon.
The Everyday Earbuds Classic is what you're talking about. And of course, you've programmed Cody's taste to your own, Brian, with the punk or the jazz, but you could listen
everything in
to
between.
A little bit of country.
I said in between too. I included in between.
Well, that means they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, and I would say that you are wrong about that. I would say that they're offshoots of a spectrum on the left. While at the same time, you could be over on the right-hand side with bluegrass and potentially experimental space music. Also, there's Bach and Beethoven to worry about, but all in all, I think Cody probably inherited a love of country music from Dusty, so maybe there's a little David Allan Coe in there.
Some Waylon.
Yeah, he'd get into where he'd just start wailing. Boy, he would be wailing. You could hear him a mile away.
Delbert McClinton.
Delbert McClinton killed the house in Pennsylvania, didn't he? Nevertheless, the Everyday Earbuds Classics are loaded, Brian, with upgrades, active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity, pairing with two devices at once, wink, wink, nod, nod, and an ergonomic fit. We've talked about them. They will stay in no matter what you're doing. You can do gymnastics. You can do the uneven parallel bars. You can skydive. You can even tie a rope around your balls and try to hang from a tree, and these things will not come out. See, I've seen that in some cultures. What? In some cultures, the ones that eat monkey brains, they also hang from their testicles from trees. It's a whole cultural thing. But right now, folks, you can get all these Raycon Everyday Earbuds Classic features in the Raycon Everyday Earbuds Classic. They got the quick charge, 10 minutes. You plug them in, it gives you 90 minutes of playtime. Boy, I wish every time you plug something in for 10 minutes, you'd get 90 minutes of playtime. And you can get up to 32 hours of battery life and the awareness mode, Brian. We've talked about the awareness mode. If you want to know what's going on around you, hit this button. You can read people's minds. Actually, their thoughts are broadcast through your Raycon Everyday Earbuds. You can look at Myrtle across the street.
Actually,
you can look her in the face and you hear her thinking,
Myrtle,
boy, I'd like to fuck that guy that lives across the street from me. Problem is, Myrtle's 82 years old, a retired second grade teacher, and he's ugly as homemade sin.
You hear that horn? That's the Myrtle horn, meaning let's tell the truth, Jim. And let's let the people know that Raycon's there to play great songs, no mind reading, but I could read your mind right now. You need a great earbud, Raycon. Tell him, Jim.
If you could read my mind, what a story my thoughts would tell. Over 3 million customers already love Raycon. So you got to get in line, folks. There's 3 million people in front of you to fuck this old whore. And they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. You will stay happy for 30 days after you insert these Raycons. And where can you say that about anything else? So if you don't love them, returns are easy. You have nothing to lose except your happiness that they brought you. So why return them? Go to buyraycon.com, BUYRAYCON.com/JCE right now, and you're going to get 20% off of these fine earbuds that you can listen to a variety of groovy sounds on, and people are not even going to know because they got all kinds of colors. If they're like blush violet or cool mint. So if you have purple or green skin, you stick these things in, people will never even see them. Or elsewise, they'll think it's just possibly a purple blood blister or some kind of green carbuncle
A purple blood
that's coming up. And they're not going to say anything to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But they'll wonder why you're just bopping to the cool music while you've got some potentially cancerous growth in your ear.
Again, Oh, there goes Myrtle. Jim, let's wrap this up and let people know just the facts. Just
the facts. Buy Raycon.com/JCE right now. 20% off these fine earbuds.
That's right. Very popular here at Last Manor. And of course, Stacey Cornette's a big fan. We have talked about it in the past.
She got the cool mint.
She got the cool mint color.
Got the cool mint.
But you can get what's good for you. Raycon, buyraycon.com/JCE. And Jim.
First time I saw her with green ears, I called 911 to get an ambulance. But she said, no, it's my Raycons.
Well, Jim, let's again, they look great. And everyone will think so when they see you in them. Let's focus on that. But Jim,
I didn't have my glasses on. So